Howdy, folks. Mangy Fetlocks here. You know, usually I got a regular song for you each day, but today I got a story that I felt compelled to share. It's almost unbelievable, but I got to tell you, I think it's truthful. You know, because I got this from a friend of mine who got it from a friend of his who's got a cousin that used to work for this guy who that guy's uncle knew somebody that used to be really close friends with this other guy who, when they were overseas for a while in the military, he had a cousin, again, that was had actually experienced this. So, you know, this is not like something that came off the news. This is like regular people telling you a story. So it's a little shocking. When Trump contracted COVID and was hauled to Walter Reed, upon examination, doctors there were shocked indeed. Though Mark Meadows had told them Trump just needed rest in bed, the doctors were concerned because Trump looked like he was dead. They put his bulbous body on a gurney extra large and called in one physician who was usually in charge. There sure was no denying there was no way he looked fit. The doctor who was checking him then yelled out, "Holy shit." The doc looked like he'd just been flung from some cathedral steeple. Quite terrified, he stated, "Trump's one of the lizard people." I didn't believe it at first either, till this guy that knew this other guy, and he told me more of the story. The fact was unmistakable. It could not be denied, for Trump's exterior covering had curled up and died, exposing underneath it a disgusting, awful sight. A lizard man with lizard skin that looked a bit too tight. His skin was rough and scaly, a spotted, speckled sort that should be oiled daily, but was down about half a quart. His belly was distended, a lot like Donald's was. He seemed to lack a penis, which was obvious because his body was quite hairless from both ends up to the middle. So were it there, but hiding, it definitely was little. Where tiny hands had once been, tiny lizard claws now shone. The beady little lizard eyes were nonetheless Trump's own. Jeez. That kind of made the hair stand up on my back when he told me that. I could just picture him. The doctor who observed this had not heard of such before. Good thing a QAnon believer just wandered by the door. He saw the awful lizard creature laid out on the table and stepped in just to get a peek as quick as he was able. He said, "I heard of lizard folk, but not seen one of them." And when told that it was Trump, he said, "I thought it'd be a Dem." The word from Q is lizard folk are liberal or gay or Muslim, black or Jewish. But that's Donald Trump, you say? Well, I'll be damned. This changes things and finally makes some sense. Now I think back to when we saw that fly land on Mike Pence. I wondered why most liberals to me seemed rather kind, while Trump was about as creepy as you'd likely ever find. I can't believe the Q was wrong. You learn something every day. I hope he wasn't wrong about the return of JFK. If lizard folk aren't Democrats, this shakes my worldview and possibly accounts for all the crazy shit I do. The Q guy was not seen again. Trump's deep state took him out. To keep this story under wraps, of that I have no doubt. But after some remdesivir and several jars of flies, Trump made a swift recovery to everyone's surprise. Turns out the lizard people are all in the GOP. Q mixed it up because what he's long been smoking wasn't tea. And even they aren't part of any baby-eating cult. You smoke the stuff Q smokes, and sadly this is the result. The lizard Trump served out his term and nearly became king. If not for great incompetence, that might have been a thing. But by the skin of our teeth, our collective butts were saved. For otherwise, by lizard folks, we'd all now be enslaved. Still, nonetheless, we'd best be vigilant and be on our guard. But knowing who the lizards are, that shouldn't be too hard. Think about that. Thanks for listening.